Shalom to my brothers and shalom, shalom to the scattered Hebrew Israelites. For you of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom. So the title of this video report for the new moon is the 8th new moon, which day? And some of you are probably aware why I titled this video like the way I did, because this month was a little bit challenging, because we saw that on Tuesday, some say they saw the new moon, and then on Wednesday, others say they saw the new moon. So I will confess with you, my brothers and sisters, this was a difficult month to determine which day is the new moon of the Most High. So I had to do some research based on what devices I have, and this probably will be ongoing. But I do want to give you the 8 new moon report so you have this information and you too can seek Yahuwah on what to do. Okay, so what has happened is that there was 3 locations in America, and I'm going off the top of my head. I know one was in Florida, one was in Arizona, and the third was in California, that said that they saw the new moon at sundown on Tuesday, which was October the 9th. Okay, but then on October the 10th, that's when Israel saw the new moon. Okay, and also in certain location throughout the land of Israel. So the next thing you have to ask yourself, well, which day is correct? And I'm going to be honest, my brothers and sisters. You look at the prophets' writings, such as Enoch, and you have to read 1st, 2nd Enoch to get a good understanding about the heavens. There are certain things that will rule out what is the correct day for our Father. Okay, such as your full moon day should appear on the 14th day or the 15th day. That is a rule in the heavens. Okay, and Enoch does talk about this in the first Enoch. Those who have a copy of his writings. Now, does this always play like this? No, because for those like myself, we have been keeping a record, and there are times where this moon has done strange things. And this is why I stress to you, my brothers and sisters, brother and sisters, to listen to Yahuwah prophetic message, because he does talk about how the heavens is manifesting itself unto us Israelites. Okay, so there are some months where this moon has done some strange things, and it's hard to determine which day is a high day and which day is an ordinary day unto the Most High. Okay, so now let's go over the results, and I will give you what I have and the reason why I'm choosing to follow the new moon day that was seen on October the 10th at sundown. Okay, so I had to look at a couple of things to determine this. Now, those who have access to the internet, what I suggest you to do, and I just realized that on renewmoon.com site, with some of their witness report, if you see via secondary site, you can click on that. And once you click on that, you can see if they have provided pictures or what would their report regarding the 8th moon. And that's why there was no pictures. Okay, it was just people giving their testimony of what they saw. This is dealing with those who keep Islam. Okay, that's what I learned about out of the 2 of the 3 who said that they saw the new moon on the on Tuesday at sundown. However, when I reached out to my brothers, like I have some of them in California and through other parts of America, when I had reached out to them and asked what did they get, they did not see the new moon on Tuesday. Okay, now on Wednesday, majority of us have seen the new moon. Okay, so that's no problem about Wednesday sightings. All right, now that was the first piece of evidence that I used why I went with Wednesday instead of Tuesday. Now the second piece of evidence is this. Now bear with me, because this is my handwriting. It's not neat, it's not perfect, But this is what I'm talking about, my brothers and sisters. When you study about the moon and you look at the four corner moon phases, what you will learn about the moon that those four corner moon phases can only appear on certain. You cannot have 2 quarter moon phases to appear on the same week of the moon. For those who study and keep a record, as myself, this is why I stress to you, my brothers and sisters, to write these things out so you will see, and you can also understand what Enoch is talking about. Because remember, for the Most High calendar, not only do we look at the moon, but we also look at the sun. Okay, that what completes his calendar. So when I looked at the 4 quarter phases of the moon, this is what I learned. If we go by the sighting for Tuesday, here's the problem. Your full moon day will fall on day 16. And your half waning moon, and the half waning moon I'm talking about is the moon decreasing in light, will fall on day 23. That cannot be possible, my brothers and sisters, because then you will have your moon phases out of order. That was one of the biggest that stirred my spirit man and let me know, okay, what is going on. Now, I'm not saying those who saw the new moon on Tuesday that they did not see it, but I even went back to timeanddate.com and looked at the new moon projections. And on that day, I think the highest amount of illumination can range from 0.8 to 1%, depending on your location. Now, there's a brother also who has sighted the moon, and his channel on YouTube is True Table Ministries. Okay. He too was saying the same thing. He didn't see the new moon on Tuesday, but he saw it on Wednesday. Okay. That's something else. So those were the 2 pieces of confirmation for me. As for the others who say they saw it, again, we should ask for them to provide pictures. We just can't take this a verbal report. We need, a little more evidence, because the Most High is very particular, and it's in his word. For example, when you read Ben Sirad, known as Ecclesiasticus chapter 33, verse 7 through 9, it says this. Okay, let's look at it now. Why do one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun? That's something to think about. Why do one day excel another, when there's light on every day? Do we not have light from the sun every day, my brothers and sisters? Verse 8. By the knowledge of the Most High, they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts. So the Most High himself was the days, for he altered seasons and feasts. Some of them have he made high days and hollow them, and some of them have he made ordinary days. Precepts to read or other scriptures to read are Ben Sirah chapter 43, verse 6 to 10, Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, and Ezekiel chapter 46, verse 1 through 8. So now we have learned it is the Most High who made a difference with the days, okay? Which brings us to this conclusion. The days of the sun and the days of the moon must fall on the correct Sabbath day. This is this FYI for someone who's new to this video or new to the channel. This is something that you need to learn. When you study the heathen's calendar, known as Satan calendar, or the Roman calendar / the fourth beast, you will learn they did not follow the circuits of the heavens. They did not observe the heavens. Therefore, you will never have the correct day of the sun, nor will you have the correct day of the moon, my brothers and sisters. And they have made many great other errors in their calendar. This is why you would never get the correct Sabbath day by using the fourth beast calendar. You would never get the correct holy days. They do not follow the instructions, the word of Yahuwah. something for you to seek the Most High for, to give you understanding. Okay. So now let's go over some numbers so you can keep the 8th month. In this 8th month, this is the month when Noah entered the ark, and this is when the waters are released upon the earth. We learned in the prior in the 7th new moon report, that was the month when Noah received instructions to build the ark. Events that pertains to these months. Okay, as we had learned that in the month of the 7th month, it was known as Aleph and Tar. Okay, so in this 8th month, we have the new moon to show on, let me see here, it was October the 10th at sundown, which was Wednesday on the heathen calendar. And this is the first day of the Most High calendar, from sundown to sundown. Therefore, the fallen phases of the moon will fall on these days. You have the half moon to fall on day 7, the full moon to fall on day 15, the half waning moon to fall on day 22, and the dark moon, which will fall on day 29. As the prophet Enoch says, that the end of the month is when the moon has no light upon her. Okay. As for the day of the sun, okay. Oh, let me go back. Far as your Sabbath days, the Sabbath day of the moon always will fall on this. And write this day down. The Sabbath day will fall for the moon will be day 8, day 15, day 22, and day 29. Now the Sabbath days for the sun will fall on in the 7th month. It will fall on the 25th day of the sun. In the 8th month of the sun, it will fall on day 2, day 9, and day 16. Okay. Now, when does the sun enter into the 8th sign of Mazzaroth? Now, the heathens known as the Gentile calls this Scorpio. Okay. It falls on, in the U.S., October the 23rd at 7:22 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. The sun will enter into the 8th sign of Mazzaroth that the Gentiles call Scorpio. Okay. In Israel, the sun will enter into Mazzaroth at 2:22 p.m. Israel Daylight Savings Time on October the 23rd. Because this occurred before sundown, that day will fall on from the 22nd to the 23rd of October. Okay, so that would fall on day 13 of the moon. Okay, day 13 of the moon. I forgot to, yeah, and as far as the sun, it'd be the 30th day of the sun in the 7th month. Okay, as far as the day of the sun. I want to make a note of that. And what that basically means is, remember, Enoch says that on that day of the 7th month, the last day of the 7th month, daylight will be 8 parts and night will be 10 parts. And what that basically means, now we are entering into the season where daylight now will be less than night. Night will be greater than daylight. So on the 30th day of the 7th month of the sun, we will have about 11 hours and 20 minutes of daylight. For night, we will have about 12 hours and 40 minutes of night. Now you might see a slight difference because now the earth is no longer in a line with the heavens. That's one of the greatest signs unto you, Israelites, to let you know who you are. We are spread out throughout the 4 corners of the earth, for we are Yahuwah's people. We are called many bywords and proverbs such as black, Negro, etc. Okay, so keep that in mind. So when you see the length of daylight and the length of night not being totally perfect as written, it is because the earth is no longer in alignment with the heavens. Okay, because there's a great disorder that has occurred in the earth. Israel. If you understand what that means, we are not in our proper place. Until we are brought back in our proper place, then these things will be brought back into his proper order. All right, let's continue. So the first day of the 8th month of the sun will fall on day 14 of the moon. Okay. And as far as the sun, it will be its first day. It start from October the 23rd to October the 24th, from sundown to sundown. All right. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to ask you to have patience with me that I be able to finish the 8 new moon calendar. You will have access to the Google document. I'm sorry it's not listed in this video description box, but if you can come back later to this same video, it will be listed. If not, then you can go to the 7th new moon report and click on that. But once you click on it, you will see I have not filled it out completely. And the reason is, my brothers and sisters, I want to make sure that we have the correct information for what was the new moon day, what is the Sabbath day, days for the sun and the moon, which is very important. Also, if it's the Most High will, another video will be made so we can talk about some of these biblical events, such as what happened during the time of Noah, during the time of the flood that was upon the earth, because it does relate to our generation. Because you know the words say that he will no longer destroy the world by water, okay, which is why we have the rainbow that appear in the sky after the rain. But he will destroy the world by fire, and a new heaven and new earth shall come forth. All right. So this is why we look at these biblical events, because the past will give you understanding of the present and what is to come. All right. Let's see, anything else as far as others that we do keep a record of, and I do want to let you see this. For those who do not keep the 13th month, and I don't know why, because it's evidence in the heavens, and the prophet Ezekiel provided evidence as well. But it's also too, it's simple math. The moon circuit is shorter than the sun circuit. Therefore, the moon will be behind the sun, and you will have the moon to start early. In other words, the first month, which we call Abi, will start in the winter season and not in the spring season. According to the Bible would say summer season. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's simple math, my brothers and sisters. If you would keep a record and write these things down, you will see. However, for those who do not keep a 13th month, even the prophet Enoch will provide evidence. If you have read 1st and 2nd Enoch, they are in their 9th month. Okay. As for my brother Yahushua, he is in his 7th month. He started his 13th month in the year of 2017 to 2018. But according to the former of Enoch and the records that I have, and looking at other records of others, I have learned that the 358, with the 358 cycle, it should fall in 20. Him and I is not in agreement, and there is a video on that as well. You can click on that link, and as you see here, I'm going to put my finger where you can see it. If you click on that link right there, it explains why. Because right now it's just not adding up with past records and with Enoch's 358. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else I need to mention in this. I think not, my brothers and sisters. Continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for it's truly at hand. We are in the season for the Messiah to return, for he said we shall know the season, but we shall not know the day nor the hour of his coming. We are in the 7th day from Adam, which means that we are in the 7,000 year from Adam, which is the 12th day from creation, or the 12,000 year from creation. The prophet Enoch, the high priests, will confirm in their writings. Also, it's confirmed by myself, Brother Yahushua, and by Beta Israel, for those who have been keeping a record and going back and adding up the years according to the sacred writings of our ancestors that came from our Father in heaven. All right. And when you look at the Jewish people today, who are the sons of Esau and the son of Japheth, which fulfilled the biblical prophecy in Genesis chapter 9, when you look at that, and also read down to Genesis chapter 10 and many other prophetic writings that was given to by the prophets, and in Yahuwah prophetic message, he tells you who are the Jewish people today. They are converts. They are Gentiles. They are not the blood descendants of Jacob, known as Israel. Okay, when you look at their calendar, they would have in the year of 5778, I believe now. That's the year they're in. And the reason why they are about under 2,000 years short is because they don't believe in the Messiah. Okay, so continue to preach to God that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10, and baptize them in the name of Yahushua HaMashyach. For the Messiah said that we must be born of the water and of the Spirit. He set the example for us to follow. What he did, we shall do. What he went through, we shall go through. If just as he bare that cross, we shall also bear our cross. We shall be afflicted, oppressed, and vexed by our enemies, just as he was, my brothers and sisters. For we are in this world of darkness, and Satan is the principality ruling at this time. But soon our Father in heaven shall send his Son to take down the beasts, okay, and to take down Satan, and to set up righteousness in the earth. And once his Son has done his assignment, then the Father will come and bring the new eternal kingdom that shall last forever. Something to look forward to. All right. I love you all, and shalom.